Coming up next on KPBS Evening Edition, about 1 in 3 homes in San Diego County are underwater. If you own one of them, help may be on its way. We'll hear what President Obama's new mortgage relief plan will mean to San Diego homeowners.
And whether you drive a car, take a bus, or ride your bike, the county's new transportation plan will affect how you get around town. We'll hear the details later at the Evening Edition Roundtable.
KPBS Evening Edition starts now. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Joanne Farian.
And I'm Dwayne Brown. President Barack Obama is offering mortgage relief to hundreds of thousands of Americans.
Today, he unveiled a new housing initiative allowing homeowners who are still current on their mortgage payments to refinance, no matter how much their home value has dropped.
There are about 15,000 homes facing foreclosure in San Diego County right now. The revised federal loan program would provide welcome relief to many homeowners who are just trying to hold on to their property.
In general, in San Diego County, 1 out of 3 homes is underwater. They owe more than it's worth. So if you're coming out of your own house, you look to your left, you see that neighbor's happy. You look to your right, that neighbor's happy. That means it's you.
When San Diego's real estate boom went bust in 2007, the zip code with the highest number of foreclosures was right here in Chula Vista, as well as Eastlake and Otay Ranch. New development just like this one popped up over the past several years. This father of 4 once ran a growing real estate agency in the South Bay until he lost it all, including his own home.
To me, it's a miracle. And for me to be given this obstacle in life to go to the bottom, almost homeless, to where I am now.
Mendoza is now buying home foreclosures like this one at auctions on behalf of real estate investors. 7,000
Yes.
square feet, and it was built back in 2001.
Yes.
How much did it go for then?
It sold for $2.5 million.
He says the revised federal loan program should be a big boost for homeowners in this area who owe more than what their homes are worth.
With this new loan program, it's going to open up a lot of doors for all these thousands of homes that are being currently foreclosed upon.
Now, that $2.5 million mansion he showed us recently sold for just under $700,000 cash at auction. Mendoza says what once was a seller's market has now become an investor-owned market. Of course, we'll have more perspective on how this program may help San Diego homeowners underwater in a few minutes.
Have you noticed your grocery bill keeps going up? Food prices are nearing the highest level in 30 years. KPBS reporter Susan Murphy has been looking into it and has more from the news center. Susan, tell us more about these prices. What kinds of increases are we seeing?
The Bureau of Labor Statistics is reporting the price of bread is up more than 17% over last year. Milk is up 12.5%, eggs 6%. Some economists say by the end of this year, prices will have soared 25% in the last 5 years.
And what's behind the increases?
I spoke to an economist at San Diego State University. He says the main ingredient for the price hike is crops being used for biofuel. The United States is the largest producer of corn, but 30% of that crop is used to make ethanol.
And do you know how long we're expected to see this trend in high prices?
Farmers are responding with a larger corn crop, but it takes usually about 6 months to actually see those lower prices reflected on store shelves.
KPBS reporter Susan Murphy. An Army Ranger from San Diego was killed in Afghanistan over the weekend. The Pentagon says Sergeant First Class Christopher Domage was killed by an improvised explosive device in Kandahar province on Saturday. This was his 14th combat deployment. Domage was a graduate of Rancho Bernardo High School. He was married with 2 daughters.
The Navy's newest destroyer has come home to San Diego. The USS Spruance arrived this morning. Families and friends were waiting to welcome the 285 sailors on board to their permanent home port. The destroyer is named after Admiral Raymond Spruance, who commanded an aircraft carrier task force at the Battle of Midway.
For most of our crew, and one of our big challenges has been bringing the honor of Admiral Spruance, a World War II hero, which for most of my crew of an average age of 21, he's basically the hero of a black and white movie that's ancient history to them. But it's been an important part of our duty to to bring Admiral Spruance's legacy back to the color TV generation.
When it's deployed, the Spruance will patrol the eastern Pacific. Some researchers from San Diego State University has helped NASA make an incredible find in deep space. For the first time, scientists have found a planet with 2 suns. The SDSU team helped analyze the data leading to the discovery. The planet has been named Kepler 16b. NASA says it's 200 light years from Earth in the constellation Cygnus. At the beginning of this broadcast, we told you about the President's mortgage relief plan to help struggling homeowners. Joanne has some analysis of the crisis with her guest over at the Evening Edition Roundtable.
As you just heard, President Obama's new mortgage relief plan could help lower payments for some homeowners. Just what this will mean here in San Diego County up next. But first, here's a quick look at the numbers. 34% of all single-family homes and condos in San Diego County are underwater, according to DataQuick, a real estate tracking firm. That means people who own those homes owe more to the bank than what their house is worth. A national study also found that nearly 3/4 of people who are underwater on their mortgage are paying higher than market interest rates. Joining me to explain how the new program works and what it could mean to homeowners in San Diego is Vino Parnar, President and Executive Director of Housing Opportunities Collaborative. Thank you, Vino, for being here.
Joanne, how are you?
Good. So let's talk about the homeowners that could potentially be affected by this. Are these people who primarily would have bought during the bubble, 06, 05, would have bought when house prices were high?
These are homeowners who have a fixed mortgage. Let's make that clear. These are homeowners who got a 30-year or a 25 or whatever years of fixed mortgage, and they should have bought it before May 31st, 2009. And the mortgage should be owned, or the investor should be Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. So unless you have at least these 3 requirements met, this program doesn't help any other homeowner. So we are looking at homeowners who are basically Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac
Do we know
borrowers.
how many are Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac?
Let's say Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are the largest investors in the mortgage field. So we're looking at about at least 1/3 of all the mortgages that are out there nationally. And in San Diego, it's a reflection of national levels, so we can expect the same here in San Diego.
So these are people who bought a home. The house is now worth less than what they paid for it. They're underwater, and they're paying higher interest rates. What are those interest rates roughly?
Going back in time, 2009 and before, it's anywhere between 6% to 10%, 10% being a fewer of those who got the 10%, but most of them are between 6 to 10. So right now the mortgage rates are around 4. Today it's 4.11. So that's almost 2% differential over there between what they are currently paying and what they could buy a refinance under the current program.
But of course banks aren't allowing them to refinance because they're in a negative equity position. So now let's fast forward. Obama makes this announcement. What does he say in terms of those people and whether or not they'll be eligible for this program?
Prior to today, just a recap of what's happened. It was a limit of 25% over and above what you had owed. So let's say you have a home that you had bought for $125,000. Of course, in San Diego, you don't get a home for $125,000. But let's say you got a home for $125,000. But now your home value is $100,000. That is a $25,000 that you owe on your mortgage. In the earlier program, if you have $26,000, you don't qualify. But now they have taken the upper limit on the ceiling. Now you can go have any amount that you owe on your mortgage and have an equity that is lower than your mortgage and qualify under the program. But still, it should be a fixed mortgage owned by Fannie and Freddie, and then you have to have not defaulted or made a late payment in the last 6 months and only one late payment in the last year.
So does this automatically really reduce the number of people who need help who are actually going to be able to get help through this program?
Not exactly. It expands the scope, actually. So,
but in terms of this program, that you've got some limitations in terms of who can actually apply for it.
Exactly. It's not for everybody. So let's say that there is a restriction. Homeowners who have a private lender who is not with the Fannie and Freddie don't qualify. There are nationally, the numbers are 11 million who are underwater. And then if you should have at least 80% of your mortgage that is covered by the, your equity. If it is like 60 or 70, you can't, because then means this program doesn't apply to you. There's a lot of requirements, but homeowners who have basically owing more than what they have on equity can benefit out of it, period.
You've been getting a lot of phone calls today, haven't you?
Yes, it's been crazy.
What are they saying to you?
They're asking, the one question is, of course, do I qualify? We always ask them or request them to go to makinghomeaffordable.gov, where Fannie and Freddie have their sites. You click and you check, put your address in, you check it.
We're going to put that website up too for people at home so they know where to go.
And then once they ask that question, they say, do I qualify? We say maybe. And then they ask, would my principal come down? The question is no, because if your principal is coming down, that's not this program. That's a principal reduction program, and that depends on the various other programs that are available. And people are saying, okay, if my principal is not being reduced, I'll be paying on the original amount. When can I recoup that? When will my property come up in price? When will I regain all that equity? And the short answer is we don't know. It could be next year, 5 years from down the road, or 10, 15 years. Nobody knows with the current economy, with the unemployment situation, the other vicious cycles that are going around there. We don't know when these home prices will come back to the levels that they borrowed their mortgage.
Vino Paramore, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Joanne. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
A deadline is fast approaching for San Diego's medical marijuana dispensaries. They're under orders to shut down in about a month. We'll have an in-depth look at the crackdown coming up from our Biz Tech desk in just a moment. And the county is about to make a decision on a plan that will affect how we get around for decades. It's already been blasted by California's Attorney General. A closer look at the controversy as KPBS Evening Edition continues. Local and federal authorities have been cracking down on San Diego medical marijuana dispensaries in recent weeks. KPBS Metro reporter Katie Orr looks at what impact the federal action is likely to have.
The San Diego medical marijuana industry is in upheaval after the federal government announced a crackdown on California collectives like this one. Now patients face an uncertain future. That uncertainty stems from whether medical marijuana dispensaries they've come to rely on will be able to keep their doors open. Monty Osborne is the director of the SDTMC dispensary, one of about 180 that had been operating in the city. Osborne has tried to diversify her business on Marina Boulevard by selling teas and offering other alternative health treatments. But her landlord received a letter from the U.S. attorney telling him to get rid of the dispensaries on his property or face the risk of losing that property. He told Osborne she has to go.
But I feel heartbroken because of my patients. We've been able to establish free chiropractic. We've been able to establish free yoga and free acupuncture for people who otherwise would never have an opportunity to experience those healing modalities. So I'm very saddened and confused by the nature of the federal involvement.
Osborne says she only got into the medical marijuana business after President Barack Obama said he wouldn't use federal resources to go after the industry. Under California law, patients and caregivers who collectively cultivate marijuana for medical use won't be subject to arrest. But what qualifies as a collective is up for debate. Attorney Jessica McElfresh represents the Patient Care Association, a medical marijuana advocacy group. That group believes San Diego's dispensaries are operating within the boundaries of the law. McElfresh says the group is trying to reach out to lawmakers to get the feds to ease up, and she says they're reaching out to landlords, too.
Many of the landlords have been willing to listen and to reach out and to try and get the policy changed back, and for the moment, that's the posture we're in. We believe that we're going to be able to turn this back with a significant public outcry, and you can't reach through the mail and pull the letter back out, but basically get the policy changed.
But the medical marijuana industry may be in for a tough fight. Laura Duffy is the U.S. Attorney for California's Southern District. She says things have veered wildly from the original intent of California's medical marijuana law.
This industry is becoming more along the lines of drug trafficking in large part than it is about providing medicine to the sick.
Duffy says a core mission of the Department of Justice is to go after drug traffickers. She says the government will not pursue truly sick patients who grow marijuana in their homes. But she says California's storefront pot shops are a clear violation of state law, and she says most don't actually fit the definition of a collective.
Dispensaries, they're often called. They're marijuana stores that are open storefronts. People can come in. They can receive marijuana in exchange for, you call it a donation, a payment, whatever you want to call it. That's something different than a collective. And those marijuana stores are not authorized under state law.
Duffy says her office will continue to send out letters like this one to dispensaries that she believes violate state law. But Alex Kreit says we've seen this kind of federal action before, and it was largely unsuccessful. He's a professor at Thomas Jefferson Law School and the former chair of San Diego's Medical Marijuana Task Force.
Under the Bush administration, they vigorously tried to go after medical marijuana dispensaries in California. Their position was federal law says this is illegal for any purpose. They were raiding people, prosecuting people all over the state. And by the time Bush left office, there were, it appears, between 500 and 1,000 dispensaries openly operating in California. Many, many more than when Bush came into office.
Kreit says he doesn't believe this latest crackdown will have much impact either. But that may be little comfort to Monty Osborne. She says she'll have to lay off 4 full-time employees and say goodbye to 2,000 patients. And she now has less than 45 days to close up shop.
That story from KPBS Metro reporter Katie Orr. You can learn more about the medical marijuana crackdown on our website, kpbs.org.
San Diego County is on the verge of making transportation decisions that will impact the region for the next 40 years. The San Diego Association of Governments will vote on its 2050 Regional Transportation Plan this Friday. That's a plan that will decide how many new miles of freeways will be constructed, whether we invest more or less money into public transit, even how many sidewalks might be built. Joining me to talk more about the plan are 2 guests, Jerome Stocks, and Sandag Board Chair and Encinitas Deputy Mayor, and Elise Lowe, Executive Director of Move San Diego. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you. So, Jerome, tell us briefly the mandate of this plan. And it's going to cost more than $200 billion. Where are you getting the money to pay for it all?
Both good questions. The 2050 Regional Transportation Plan is federally mandated plan. It gets reviewed each 4 years. The previous iteration was called a 2030 RTP. We pay for our transportation projects in San Diego County. We are what's known as a self-help county because our voters have passed the Transnet half-cent sales tax. We use that money and partner with our federal and state partners and try to maximize every possible dollar and try to bring forward projects that we believe will be good for the region's future.
So this is the plan that really determines how we all move around in the county, whether we're driving or taking a bus or riding our bikes. And also to accommodate for our increased population, another 1.4 million people in the county by 2050. So we want to show our audience now some bullet points of this plan. And maybe you can help us out here, Jerome, with describing some of them. We know that we have to meet new state greenhouse gas emission targets.
That's correct. A reduction by 2020 of 7% and 2035 by 13%. And the Air Resources Board has indicated that we have done so.
And also new miles of trolley service.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of new trolleys, four new actual trolley projects, plus rehabilitation of the existing Blue Line, plus extension of the Mid-Coast Line. And again, you got to remember, this is a 30,000-foot program. This is not. We don't know exactly where the trolley will be on which street, or where the stations will be, or
but
that
the
sort
idea
of thing.
that you're increasing.
The idea that we're going to be there, yes.
And we
it's
also
over 100 miles.
saw on our slide there's also increased freeway miles. And Elise, I want to bring you in now into the discussion because your organization really advocates public transport, other sort of forms of getting about. What do you see in terms of what's not right about this plan in terms of transportation?
Well, I think that, everybody has something at stake in San Diego transportation. What I don't care for, what Move San Diego doesn't care for in the plan is the investment of transit. 72% of the transit budget will be invested from 2030 to 2050. And we think that transit should really be front-loaded in the plan. Let's provide more options and really get the biggest bang for the taxpayer dollar out of our transit system.
Jerome?
Well, we just don't happen to agree on that particular perspective. The freeway lane miles are not new freeways. They're capacity improvements to reduce congestion and help move our economy. They are things like the freeway within a freeway, which is managed lanes, such as on the I-15. The most recent 2030 RTP had 38% of its expenditures going to transit. The current one has 50%. So if you are someone who believes in the future of transit, then your belief is that we're doing the right thing. We're moving in that direction. We are ramping up. But some of these very expensive transit projects, for example, we want to put the trolleys in downtown into a subway system underground, okay, to avoid future congestion and to increase the amount of trolleys we can run. But we don't know what streets. We don't have the environmental permits.
But Jerome,
these all take time.
But it's not just groups like Elise's that have sort of taken issue with this. The Attorney General has said your plan doesn't do enough as well in terms of reducing emissions.
We take that criticism very seriously. The Attorney General is the top cop. We have responded to her letter. Part of her letter focused on policy decisions, such as land use, and part of it was legal decisions. We have, in fact, modified parts of the EIR to address some of her concerns.
Elise, what would you like to see in this plan? How would you like it modified?
I would like to have us build out our transit system before we completely build out our freeway system. Right now, as it stands, we basically do all the investments for freeway and then do the expensive transit investments. I would like to change the phasing and the shifting of that. And then I would really like the board and Sandag to take the attitude that we've got to look long-term at these carbon emissions reductions and put forth a plan and actually set a goal for ourselves that changes in the future so that we can support the emissions reductions that we've made up until 2035. Because right now the plan backslides into 2050.
Elise Lowe and Jerome Stocks, thank you both so much for being here. And of course, there's so much more to this plan, and people at home can see the details. KPBS.org. We link to it on our website as well. Thank you both.
Thank you.
It's great.
We'll recap tonight's top stories in just a moment. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
Welcome back to the Public Square on KPBS Evening Edition. Are you one of those homeowners underwater on your mortgage? Well, if you are, we'd like to know whether you're also paying a higher than market interest rate. Send us your story, and if you're so inclined, send us your photo in front of your home and let us know what your interest rate is or even how much you still owe on your mortgage. We'd like to share some of these photos with our audience and help our future reporting on this issue. You can email me at jfarian@kpbs.org, or you can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and here's one more email address, news@kpbs.org. And now here's Dwayne with the recap of tonight's top stories.
President Obama is taking steps to help homeowners who are underwater. Today, he announced an initiative allowing those still current on their mortgage payments to refinance no matter how much their home value has dropped. The new rules only apply to homeowners with federally backed mortgages. The Army says a soldier from San Diego was killed by an improvised explosive device in Afghanistan on Saturday. Sergeant Christopher Domage graduated from Rancho Bernardo High School in 2001. It was his 14th combat tour in Afghanistan. And the Navy's newest destroyer is now calling San Diego home. The USS Spruance arrived this morning with 285 sailors on board. Of course, you can watch and comment on any of the stories you saw tonight on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night. We leave you with a look at the forecast.